Hey YouTube, I just got back from my local deli. I ordered a sandwich for lunch, and while I was there I got to thinking a little bit about my urban street survival learning from the homeless video series, and I thought it'd be a good time to try to do something for that video series. So while I was there I was staring at this soda can that I got, and I thought something I researched while on the International Homeless Forum, which is www.homelessforums.org, was something called a penny stove. And I've heard of hobo stoves before, which are made out of those number 10 cans, but a penny stove was a new topic for me. So I did a little bit of research online on Google and on YouTube, and then I find out that a lot of people have made penny stoves, and I'm just way behind in the game. So anyway, I figured I would give it a shot anyway, just because I've never done it before. And what I wanted to do was see if I could make the penny stove. By the way, a penny stove is made out of a soda can or a beer can, and it's a kind of an alcohol stove, a homemade alcohol stove that some homeless people use. You know, they don't have, you know, the fancy NSR pocket rockets or anything like that. So what they do is they basically take the bottom of 2 Coke cans and they attach them together and have it filled up with some kind of alcohol or a fuel that they could burn, and then they could put their pot on that to boil water or to cook food with. So I was going to try to do that using only the tools that I currently have in my 5-pound tool bag. So I've made a video on this tool bag before, which I'm going to be carrying with my bug out bag. So what I wanted to do was try to make this penny stove as part of my Urban Street Survivals video series and see if it actually works using only the tools that I have. So I purchased an extra soda can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat my lunch and you know, drink the sodas and try to make a penny stove. Hopefully it should only cost these 2 soda cans and 1 penny. So let me eat this food really quick and I'll get started on the video. Alright, so I finished my lunch. It was really good. So now what I'm going to do is just get to work on these 2 cans. I hope you guys can bear with me on this video because I've never done it before, so I'm probably going to mess up a little bit, but I figured it'd be fun to capture the trial and error on video. So I have the 2 cans, I rinsed them out, and I went to search for some items in my 5-pound tool bag. So I'll show you the ones that I got out. So the first item I got, this was actually out of my SAS survival pouch, was a Leatherman Charge. I was planning on using the pliers on that. I also got out a Sharpie, my Nip-X bolt cutters, which will make quick work of these cans. Just in case, I also got out my scissors, which are made by Klein Tools. They're electrician scissors. They're really nice. And I added this to my 5-pound tool bag. It's just a small little vial that has different nails in it, and so there's a couple of thumbtacks that I was thinking of using for this penny stove. So the first thing I'm going to do is, from what I've researched, is that I want to cut the bottoms of both of these cans off, and one of these I want to be a little bit taller than the other. So what I've seen a lot of people do is use books to kind of give themselves a level. So I thought it'd be good to use some books that might be in your bug out bag, such as the SAS survival book, and a very common one, the F word, which has thousands of uses of the F word. So I'm going to use those as my level since I only grabbed them because they're a slightly different size. So I'm going to make the first line on this. I'll try to get around the tripod. So basically you just put the can like that, and there, so now I have a nice little line around it. And I'm going to do the same thing using the other book. Alright, so now I should have 2 lines that are one should be slightly taller than the other one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut through this can and I'm going to cut around that line. So I might speed up this video if it takes a long time. I've never done it before, but let's see how these Nip-X do with the soda can. If I can fit them in there. I mean, yeah, I'll probably just use the scissors, and the Nip-X are kind of overkill on this. But just to get through the lip of it, I'll use them. Alright, so the scissors will be a little bit better for this. just going to kind of go spiral around until I get to that line and then try to be as... Yep. Alright, so I have a nice little base. So this is actually going to be the top of the stove. So I'm going to repeat the same thing. I'll clean this up a little bit and do the same thing with this other can. I'll probably speed up the video as I do it too. So. Alright, so I finished cutting out the two cans. So this is actually going to be, the larger one is going to be the base of the can, and this is going to be the top part. So what I wanted them to do is kind of sit in each other like that. But since they're the same diameter, they don't exactly fit. So what I've researched was to use some needle nose pliers and crimp this bottom can. So you kind of just do that and twist. And you do that around the whole thing. May speed this up if it takes too long for the video. Alright, so that's my crimped bottom one. This is going to be what's going to store the fuel. So basically these should now be a little bit easier to get into them. So you kind of do that. I'm going to use the book to kind of give again, the F-word book to get a level pressure on it. Alright, so this is going to be kind of what the penny stove is going to look like. So now what I want to do is I want to make some openings in here, which is where the flame is going to come out. So to do that, I'm going to use my Sharpie marker again. And I'm going to try to make 16 of them. So I'll start the first one there. I'm just going to put some basic markers for me so I know where to make them at. And then I'll pop them out with one of my tools. So far this is fairly easy to do. Now they're not exact at all, but close enough I figure. So what I'm going to do now is, out of my little vial that I had a thumbtack. So what I'm going to use is use that thumbtack to poke holes in where I had my little marker placement. So hopefully it works. It's kind of tough actually. Now I'm wondering if I should have done this before I put the cans together. I don't know. Yeah, that is tough. I wonder how I'm going to do this. Let's see what I got in the tool bag. Oh, my little hammer. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Again, this is all trial and error for me, so hopefully I don't have to start the video over do it from scratch. Okay, I think if I push it a lot harder than what I was doing, I don't need the hammer. Again, I might speed this up in the video because I don't want it to be too long. You get the basic idea though, I'm sure. Alright, so I finished making all the holes in there, so it's kind of hurt my hands. I guess I have jazz hands or something. They're very delicate. but I made it through all of them, and they're not exactly straight or even. So now what I want to do is I want to poke some holes in the center of it. So I'll try to do it with this safety pin again. Maybe the hammer will come in handy on this one. Again, it's really hard doing this with a tripod. But if you made these videos, you probably already know that too. So, alright, so that one did fairly easy. I'm going to make a few holes. Now this is just kind of drainage holes for the fuel when you put it in it. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is basically you pour the fuel inside of here, and it should drain in there, and then you cover it up using a penny. So you cover up those drain holes like that, and then when you light it, it should start up kind of like a little mini stove. So now what I need is fuel. So let me see what I can find in my bug out bag. Okay, so I did a little searching through my bug out bag, and I don't really have a very good fuel source for this thing on me. Of course I could get something at the store, but if I don't have it in my bug out bag, you know, I wouldn't be able to use it. Maybe I could use gasoline even if I had it handy. The only thing that I could really find was out of my barter bag, which was a little bottle of Maker's Mark. And I figured I'd give it a shot. I don't know if it's going to burn. I think it's going to burn, but so I'm going to add it in there. Instead of wasting this little bottle, because I don't know, they're kind of pricey sometimes, I've decided I'll go to the big boy and use this last little remainder that's in here as my fuel source. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'll fill it up and see if it actually makes a flame. So I guess it'll be a great tasting fuel source. That you can't really drink gasoline, but you can sure drink Maker's Mark if you want to. So I'm going to just pour it in here. Hopefully it goes down in there. I don't know. It probably would have been better if I would have done this before I, you know, attach the two pieces together. But maybe the next time I'll do it right. Or make bigger holes in the middle here. Okay, so I'm going to take my penny, put it on the top here, and I've heard that some people just put a little on there as well. Oops. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to move over to the kitchen and see if this thing actually works. What I did while off video was I also made a little bit of some windshields using the remainder of the can. So if I was outdoors, you know, I'd be able to use these to kind of block the wind a little bit. So I'm not going to use that since I'm in a controlled environment indoors, but I just thought I'd show you that as well. So, alright, so let's move to the kitchen.